So I didn't originally plan on talking about this, but after what I experienced Saturday at the Halo Outpost event in Philadelphia, PA, I feel like I have to. So going into this event, I had some really low expectations. I didn't expect it to be something that would blow my mind or anything like that, but I did think it would be a cool experience at the very least. And when I first got into the event, I walked around for a little bit and I looked at a few things and I thought to myself, all right, this is about what I expected, all right? It's nothing special, but, it should be an okay time. But my God, was I wrong, because as the day went on, things just kept getting worse and worse. And my main incentive for making this video is not to just completely bash this event, which would be completely justified if those were my intentions. But this video is more of a warning or a public service announcement. To those of you who are thinking about going, or you're on the fence trying to decide if you want to go to a Halo Outpost or not, and I'm here to tell you, don't fucking go. The only types of people I can see this event appealing to are little kids and people that don't know anything about Halo, which I know that sounds weird because it's a Halo event, so you would think fans of Halo would love this, and maybe some of them do, but from my experience, and walking around and you're seeing these different things and statues and replicas and there's all this lore that you can read everywhere, and it's like, I've already seen this, I already know this. It did nothing for me. It really didn't. And I know I'm not someone who is completely immersed in the Halo universe and all the lore and everything, even though I used to be back in the day, but I did expect that from this event, right? I said I had low expectations, and that's what I expected coming in. I knew it was going to be about lore and the history of Halo and all that. But so much of the information and details that you can read about Halo at this event are either things I already knew, and that's coming from somebody who doesn't know much about Halo lore at all, or they were things I could just fucking read online. Like, I don't need to go to the event and read them on some big giant banner. There was a bunch of things at this event that I would have been more than happy with watching or reading at home on my computer. And as for all the different statues and replicas and things like the Warhog, Master Chief, the Elite with the energy sword, the jetpack, the assault rifle, the pistol, the Halo Reach helmet, just a bunch of different replicas and things like that. I mean, yeah, I guess it was cool to look at all them things for like 5 seconds each. And that was about it, but I've already played as some of these characters and used some of these weapons and the jetpack in the games for years. I've already seen and done this. And I don't like, that didn't interest me at all. And they had like some of the things, like the weapons, in like these glass display cases, like they're actually some... Like I'm at a museum, and these are actually some ancient artifacts I'm looking at, or something like that. The whole thing was just really lame to me. And I really don't feel like I'm being overly critical here. I really don't. Like, I'm fine with all the kind of nerdy Halo lore type stuff. Like, I'm fine with that. Some of that stuff's cool. But I just feel like they executed it very poorly. Now, on to another thing that I also thought was done very poorly. The lighting and the whole setup of the room that this event took place in. Now, I haven't been to a ton of different conventions, but I have been to a few, and I've also watched tons of videos of people going to various conventions. And I gotta say, the whole look of Halo Outpost of this event was just by far the worst I've ever seen. Like, with the conventions I've been to, the second you walk into the event, into the room, it's just appealing to look at. It's mind-blowing. There's lights and crazy shit going on everywhere, and the whole setup is just nice to look at. I may not know what the hell's going on or where different things are located yet, but just looking at it is appealing. And Halo Outpost did not have that at all. The way they set up this room for the event should have had me fully immersed in the Halo universe. Like I said, like there should be more lights. I wanted to see a giant Halo ring hanging from the ceiling. Give me more replicas and statues, and have some of the statues set up in a way so it looks like there's Marines and Spartans fighting against Covenant, and the energy sword that the giant Elite statue was holding, that should have been glowing and lit up. And instead of all these boring still banners and backdrops, those all should have been screens, right? They should have been screens where there's videos playing on them and it cycles through different things and it's animated, it's lit up. It could have all been done so much better if they would have just made obvious decisions. And I get it. I get it. Of course, it's going to take a much bigger budget to do some of the things that I'm saying. But I see what other conventions are doing, and I see how things are set up at other events, and I don't feel like what I'm saying is too far out of reach. But let's say it is too far out of reach. It's not possible. They don't have the budget to incorporate all these awesome things into the event. Then you don't have the event. You don't give me a shit event that people are paying for. I only paid for one day, which was, like a $60 ticket, I think $70 with all the fees included. But some people paid like $300 something for 3-day passes, VIP. What? I can't imagine that. Holy shit. Some people spent that much for 3 days. 3 days, VIP. People fucking flew into this event. And it's just so not worth it. So not worth it. If you're someone who is thinking about going to this event, don't. Don't fly in. Don't drive several hours. Don't buy a ticket. If you already have bought a ticket, then just cut your losses. All right? Don't spend any extra money on travel cost or a hotel or anything like that, because this event is trash. It's not even fun to go just for the experience. There are things I've done in my life that weren't necessarily fun, but it was worth it for the experience. This, nah. Don't go. And I know it seems like I'm being super hard on this event, but for one, I feel like it deserves it, and two, I feel like I need to, because I listened to feedback and watched reviews from people who went to Halo Outpost in Orlando, and for the most part, I seen people that said it was a cool experience, they enjoyed it, and some people had some issues with the event, but they didn't make the event out to be that bad. When in reality, it is that bad. So I'm not trying to sugarcoat anything here, and I'm telling you right now, if you've been to a bunch of different conventions, this is going to be one of the worst for you. Again, I can only see this being a cool experience for you if you're a little kid or you don't know anything about Halo and you can kind of see things and learn about things for the first time at this event. That's the only way I see it being somewhat interesting. Like, when I think of Halo Outpost Discovery, a few words that come to mind are depressing and gloomy, lame, boring, lifeless, tedious, uninteresting, tiresome, stale, dull. I could keep going on. That's kind of how I would sum up the event. Also, their choice of music for this event was god-awful. I heard several different musical tracks throughout this event, but the main one that I kept hearing over and over and over again on repeat was, I don't know what track this game is from, if it's Halo 4, Halo 5, I don't know, but it was the most depressing, un-Halo sounding music I've ever heard. There is a huge collection of great sounding Halo music, so why they chose that track over all the other options, I don't know. I mean, I think I do recall when I first walked into the event at the first area, the Hall of History, I think I did hear the bum 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 bum, that theme, but other than that, it was just this same track that I kept hearing over and over and over again that didn't sound anything like Halo. There is a lot of great music within Halo, and they really should have chose some of the more popular tracks to be the music that fills the room. Also, at one point, when I was walking by the stage area, I heard some music that was straight up Star Wars. I can't confirm that it was actually a track from Star Wars, but it sounded Star Wars to a T. And God, I hope that's not a glimpse at the future of Halo's soundtrack. I hope we're not getting some shit like that in Halo Infinite, because that didn't sound Halo at all. A lot of this event didn't feel like Halo to me, and the music is only one of the reasons why. Like with some of the different experiences, like laser tag, you're waiting in line and there's several different screens for you to look at, and there's some dude dressed up as a soldier kind of giving you like a rundown on how everything works and what to expect, yada yada yada, giving you all the rules. And like that, it was just some random dude, but that should have been Sergeant Johnson on them monitors talking. That should have been Sergeant Johnson. And then with the ring experience, they call it, I don't know what, it was some female voice. I guess it was some AI or something. It was, that should have been Cortana. That should have been Cortana talking to me, not some monotone voiced AI or whatever it was supposed to be. That should have been Cortana. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, none of that felt like fucking Halo to me. And I am aware that apparently the Halo Outpost Discovery is supposed to tie into Halo lore somehow. It is part of the Halo universe or whatever. Apparently it's like a recruitment center for the UNSC or something like that. And I guess it wouldn't really make sense for Cortana to be the voice you're listening to through the ring experience, and it wouldn't really make sense for Sergeant Johnson to be the one giving you the rundown before the laser tag. But that's not a good enough reason for me to sacrifice some really cool things because it's gotta be part of the Halo universe and it ties into the lore and to recruit people for the UNSC. I don't want to hear any of that shit. You know, something I've noticed with 343, and I think they mean well by doing this, but I think it's kind of backfiring in a way. It really seems like they really want to expand the Halo universe, right? Like, I mean, that's obvious that they're trying to do that. And it feels like everything has to tie into the lore. And I don't think that's always a great thing. Like, one of the ways that they have expanded the Halo universe is with all the new characters that we see within the games and the books. But here's the thing. I'd rather have a small universe with really great characters, really cool locations and weapons and whatever, just a few of everything that are done really well, than a bunch of different things, a bunch of characters, a bunch of weapons, a bunch of locations, a bunch of this and that, and everything being done half-ass and not all that great. Now, I can't wait to talk about the different experiences, all the different attractions, but before I get into that, let's talk about the Halo Outpost app. There was an app you could download that you could use at this event, and basically you could rank up through it, get certain achievements, and then earn actual physical items if you get so many points or whatever. But with this app, you had to scan barcodes and scan certain items, but the app was not functioning properly. It was buggy as shit. Ton of things wouldn't scan. Sometimes I couldn't even open the fucking app. I had to scan my badge to sign in, but when I closed the app and went back to it, sometimes it didn't save and I had to rescan the badge. That app was shit. Unusable. It was trash. At one point, me and my friends, we went up to the kiosk, the information desk, talked to a staff member there. They didn't really know what the hell was going on with the app. They were telling us about some of the issues with it and things like that, and that app was just a shit show, unusable. And when it came to scanning the barcodes located throughout the room, for one, it just wouldn't scan because the app was trash. But another factor was it was too dark. It was too dark, so you had to have somebody kind of shine their flashlight from their phone to kind of light up the barcode while somebody else tries to scan it. And sometimes that worked, and other times the app still wouldn't scan the barcode. App was trash. That whole thing was a shit show. It was like MCC when it first came out. Buggy and unusable. Now, on to the different attractions, what they call the experiences. So first off, on the Halo Outpost Discovery website, they have 10 different experiences listed. And with some of these experiences, there's really not much to them. Like the Hall of History, that's one of the experiences. And what that is when you first walk in, right? That's where you see the Warhog replica, the Master Chief statue, and the Elite with the energy sword. That shouldn't be listed as one of the experiences. You look at that for a couple seconds, and you move on. Then they have the kiosk listed as an experience, which is the information desk. There's nothing to that. Like, that should not be listed there. Then mega constructs, the Halo mega blocks. You can build Halo mega blocks. I can fucking do that at home. I don't need to go to an event to play with fucking Legos, dude. And then they also have the marketplace listed as a experience, which is just the shop where you buy different Halo merch. But now let's get into the actual experiences. So first off, the combat deck. That's the first thing me and my friends did. It's Halo laser tag. Or it's supposed to be Halo laser tag. Now, before I go any further into this, I want you to watch this little clip right here from the Halo Outpost Discovery trailer.
Play real-life Halo on the combat deck, the largest laser tag.
Now, I don't know where they got that footage from, but I went to Halo Outpost, and I did the Halo laser tag, and that right there, what you just seen, that is not what I played. Not even fucking close. I don't know where you can experience that, but it's not at Halo Outpost. So what I played, and what you'll actually experience at Halo Outpost, is everybody gets a BR. The BR is like a red dot sight on top that you look through, and that's how you aim, and that was kind of cool, I guess. The BR, the weapon itself, it actually makes sounds when your shields are low. When you die, I think it makes sounds when you get kills. And everybody gets a headband. They get a headband with a sensor on it, and that's what you aim for when you're playing. You aim for the sensor. If somebody gets you and they kill you, essentially, you go back to the respawn area, look at a camera for a couple seconds, and then you get back out there. You're good to go. Also, the BR, it had like a little button for you to reload on it as well. Now, unlike the trailer, the room we played in, it wasn't dark. It didn't have any cool red and blue lights everywhere. We didn't get a Spartan or ODST helmet or a chest plate and shoulder pieces like they have on in the trailer. And in the trailer, it looks like they're using the Halo Boomco weapons, which that's awesome. I'd rather use that than what we were given. That's dope because you're shooting actual darts. But and it also looks like they have weapons down, the weapons laying on the map essentially that you could pick up. Like I think that's the carbine and the SMG out there. I actually have the SMG and the Halo Magnum, the Boomco weapons. But yeah, what was shown in that trailer is a lot more appealing than what I actually played at Halo Outpost. What I played at Halo Outpost was easily the worst laser tag experience I've ever seen or been a part of. It wasn't dark with cool lights everywhere. The arena that we played in was the most basic thing I've ever seen. And this is how they describe the laser tag, or as they call it, the combat deck, on the Halo Outpost Discovery website. They say, experience the rush of playing Halo in real life with this Halo-themed laser tag combat deck. Danger is present around every corner as attendees and their squad mates must use their cunning and coordination to win this fast-paced, team-based, pulse-pounding activity. 2 teams of 20 go head-to-head for a chance to claim victory in the ultimate big team battle experience. Now, I understand that with any event or product, they're going to make it seem better than it actually is, right? With these descriptions for these experiences, of course they're going to try to make it sound amazing. And the trailer, they're going to try to make it look really cool. I get that. But when it comes to promoting something, there is a fine line between hyping something up and false advertisement. And that's pretty much what this was. It was false advertisement. We were straight up being lied to about some of these things. They said 2 teams of 20, the ultimate big team battle experience. Like I said, I went into this thing with low expectations, really low. And I'm still as disappointed as I am. Like, my expectations were not too high. They really weren't. But like, first off, we didn't do for this laser tag. It wasn't 2 teams of 20. It was sure as hell not the ultimate big team battle experience. Why would you even say that? Big team battle experience. That's the smallest fucking map arena I've ever fucking seen, right? Like, why even call it big team battle? Because of the 20v20, which it wasn't 20v20? And another thing to note about the laser tag was that on everybody's gun, on your BR you got, there was a little screen on the side that had a name on it. Like a gamer tag. Mine said Spartan 78, and it was supposed to be a different name for everybody. But two people I know had the same name, and it said default for both of them, which doesn't make any sense because that name, it's supposed to be different for everyone, and that's what you use to look at your score at the end of the game. You match up the name on the gun to this screen that they had. That's basically the post-game carnage report. And you match up the name on the gun to the screen, and that's where you see your stats, your kills, your deaths, your score, whatever. And for one, like I said, some people had the same name, so that doesn't make any sense. And for two, your gun actually displays your kills and deaths as well. It tells you on the side how many kills and deaths you got on the screen. Well, what my kills and deaths on the gun didn't match what they were showing on the screen for the post-game carnage report. And then I heard somebody say that, oh, that's not our game that's being displayed on the screen. So that was a fucking mess. Now let's talk about the target range. And what that was everybody gets a Boomco Halo weapon. You can choose between the Magnum and the SMG. And then there's a couple different stations. You wait in line. And when it's your turn, you pick either the handgun, the Magnum or the SMG. You go to a station and you just shoot at targets on the screen for a little while. And that's pretty much all that was. Now, first off, these are just some toy Boomco Halo weapons. So they're not going to be that accurate. So it's kind of frustrating shooting at the targets on screen because there's only so much you can do. I mean, the dart has a mind of its own. It's a fucking toy. You can't be super accurate with it. And the description for the target range on the Halo Outpost Discovery site says, a challenging interactive target range lets attendees see if they have what it takes to defend humanity. This fast and fun test of skill features UNSC and Covenant-themed blasters, target allies, and integrated touch panels that allows attendees to choose from a variety of game difficulties and target profiles. After each match, attendees can view and compare their speed and accuracy with each other to see which recruit reigns supreme. Well, first off, the different difficulties, it was only like easy or normal. And choose between, allows attendees to choose from different target profiles. I did not have a choice. I didn't get to choose any of that. A challenging interactive target range. Yeah, it was challenging because we're trying to hit these fucking targets with these fucking toys, man. Dude, like, they're not accurate. Of course it's fucking challenging. It says UNSC and Covenant themed blasters. So these were the Boomco weapons, the Boomco Halo weapons, and they do have a carbine and a needler Boomco Halo weapon that you can go buy, but that they didn't have that there in the event. All we had to choose from was the SMG and the Magnum. They didn't have any of the Covenant weapons. It's a straight fucking lie. And as I was waiting in line, it dawned on me that this is a bunch of grown-ass adults waiting in line to go play with a toy gun for a couple minutes. And you gotta wear safety glasses while you do it. And that's not like me at all to pull the whole, we're too old for this card. That's not me at all. I'm the complete opposite. I'll be doing fucking kid shit till the day I die. But this was a little pushing it. This was over the top. And while the line may not have been as long for the target practice as it was for some of the other experiences, it was still a line that I had to wait in to play with some fucking Halo Boomco weapons, which I own some of them. I have them right now. I can play with them right now. I have the SMG, I have the Magnum, and I can go buy some more from my local Walmart. I didn't need to drive an hour and a half and pay for a $60 ticket to play with these Halo Boomco weapons and shoot at some targets. I mean, shit, even the Boomco weapons, when you buy them from the store, they come with like a little target thing that you stick to the wall and you shoot the targets. I can do that right here. I didn't need to go there to do that. I didn't need to buy a ticket and do all that shit. There's so much, and I know that's not the only thing to offer here at the event, but there's so many things at this event that, like I said, would be that you can do from home, or you'd be content watching and reading from home. Like, there didn't need to be an event for this. And a lot of the things that were unique to that event were fucking lame and not worth it. And like I said, the laser tag, that's the shittiest laser tag experience I've ever played. Now, on to the ring experience. Oh, that's supposed to be one of the top attractions at this event. Holy shit, was that boring. And the staff at this event, you could even tell that this thing was a joke to them. They weren't taking it seriously. They knew it was terrible. The ring experience. I think I waited in line, I think for like an hour, a little over an hour for this one, something like that. And basically what it is it's like a museum style kind of tour. You go room to room looking at different things, and you got these headphones on where this, I think it's some female AI talking to you. I think it's supposed to be an AI or just some female character that I don't know where her place in Halo is, but whatever. She's talking about the different things you're seeing in each room. And the first room we go into, it's a part of a Halo ring. They couldn't even do a complete Halo ring, just a part of a Halo ring. You're looking at it, not really lit up or anything, just this replica. And no lights in the room, just surrounded by black curtains, and you're looking at this part of a Halo ring that's spinning around, and you're just looking at it. Again, nothing lit up or anything. They had this banner on the wall of like space and some vehicles that I've never seen in Halo called honeybees. They're like these like fucking like air vehicles, and I guess they're probably going to be a vehicle in Halo Infinite is what I'm guessing. But yeah, it was just this still banner. Again, that should have been a fucking screen. It should have had a video playing on it. That would have made things better. Put some lights, have the Halo ring that we're looking at glowing and lit up. But no. So next room, a Sentinel spinning around. Nothing lit up again. Boring. While you're getting this, you have this chick talking to you in the headphones, telling you about Sentinels. Again, I can read about that online. I don't need to go to the fucking event to do that. Next room, then you get a couple glass display cases with the index. The monitor was in one. A flood spore. Cool. Right. Also another banner, still banner of a picture of something. Again, should have been a screen, everything like lights, something somewhat interesting. And then the final part of the ring experience, you go into this like dome type of thing and you watch this video. And a lot of what they showed in the video, I think, is going to be things used in Halo Infinite, like some of the vehicles that I didn't recognize. But the video pretty much just showed different areas of this Halo ring. I guess the Halo ring you'll be on in Halo Infinite. Showed some wildlife, talked about Sentinels, some Forerunner architecture. Nothing really too interesting. And, even people that are really invested in the Halo universe and they love all that stuff, I don't even see them really being blown away by that. Again, a lot of that information in that video you could just read about online, or read the books and learn about it. And shit, a lot of it I already fucking knew. And I never read a single Halo book. I don't know a ton about the lore, and I knew half the shit they're telling me. And the description for the ring experience on HaloOutpostDiscovery.com was, the ring experience lets attendees explore the story of the mysterious Halo array through artifacts that leap off the levels and pages of some of your favorite Halo titles. At the center of the ring experience is a visually immersive multi-projector dome-based theatrical experience, featuring a never-before-seen exploration of a Halo ring, giving fans a brand new appreciation for the sheer scale and magnitude of these ancient installations. And the reason I wanted to read that to you is because that's a good example of them really making something sound better than it is, right? Because that's what that does. It's not that exciting at all, not even close. But they really talk it and hype it up there by the way they word everything. And I just wanted to point that out because at least that isn't straight up lying to us, like the descriptions for the combat deck and the target practice. Because in those, they straight up lie to you. In the trailer, they straight up lie to you. I understand talking something up, like the description I just read for the ring experience, which again, it's not that great, but at least they didn't fucking lie to me. There's a difference between fucking false advertisement and lying to me and hyping something up. You know, even if I had loved this event, even if I had a great time at Halo Outpost, I still would not support this event just because of how much we were lied to and deceived. I guess the only somewhat cool thing about the end of the ring experience was just the fact that sometimes with the video you kind of got a little dizzy and shit because it's like the video is kind of like filling the inside of the dome or whatever. So it was kind of trippy to look at for a long time, and if you stared at it, you kind of got dizzy, and it was kind of like, whoa, made you a little sick. I guess that was somewhat cool, but it wasn't worth it, not at all, no. Now, that's the last experience that I got to do. I didn't get to do the Covenant Escape or the Pelican Training, the Halo VR. Didn't get to do any of that, which I'll touch more on that in a second, but just want to go over a few other things that you could do at that event. They had several Fireteam Raven machines that you could play, and there was a decent-sized line to do that. And I don't even know if... I'm sure they give you, like, each group a certain time limit. I guarantee you can't even play the entire thing through. So, that's a bummer. But Fireteam Raven, you can just go to your local Dave & Buster's and play it there. That's what I did. Went with a few friends. We had to wait for, like, one group of people to get off of it, and then we were on it, and we played through the entire thing. But at Halo Outpost, the Discovery... You gotta wait in a line to play it, and then I'm sure once you actually fucking sit down and you start playing, I'm sure they don't let you finish it. I'm sure they put you on a time limit. Not a good experience. Then they had several different like land stations set up where you could play Halo 2 multiplayer, Halo 5 multiplayer, Halo 3. I can do all that from home. I can play it right here. I don't have to drive an hour and a half to an event to do that. Yeah, it's fucking... God, it's such a fucking bad event, man. So fucking bad. I hate it. God, it was terrible. What else was there? There was, food court. Some good smelling food. Overpriced as shit. That's typical. That's what to expect at these places. There was a panel called The Road to MCC with Sketch and Dursky and I think one or two other people discussing MCC, and overall there really wasn't a bunch of new information shared, but this panel, this was something that could have just been streamed, right? It's just, it goes along with what I've been saying, that there's a lot of stuff at this event that I would have been fine watching from home. Like, That could have just been streamed. That could have been one of their social streams that they do. And, that I would have been content with that. They had several other activities you could participate in at this event, like the Minecraft build challenge, build your own Halo emblem, some cosplay stuff. They had a bunch of signings for Kiki Wolfkill, Frank O'Connor, for Steve Downs and Jen Taylor. So they did have other things you could do, but still, even with them things, I don't see this event as a whole being worth it at all. And when it comes to the signatures, I heard that for the Halo Outpost in Orlando, that people were waiting in line for hours to get a signature from Steve Downs and Jen Taylor. And eventually they started turning people away. They did like a raffle or something for the remaining people in line to see who would get the signature. So some people were standing in line for hours and never got a signature. So after hearing how that went down in Orlando and seeing that all the lines for all the different attractions are long as shit at Halo Outpost Philly, I didn't even try the signings. I mean, it said first come, first serve, so I didn't even mess with that. I don't want to waste my time. They also had a few stations set up where you could play Halo Reach on PC, the Tip of the Spear mission, 4K, 60 FPS, so that's pretty cool for those who haven't played it yet, those who didn't get into the first flight or didn't play it when it was playable at E3. So I'll give that to them. That's pretty cool. I mean, we didn't really get anything new for Reach on PC. I mean, the tip of the spear mission, that's really all they've been showing gameplay-wise. That's what they had playable at E3. That's what was playable in the first flight. So there's really nothing new. I mean, Halo Reach is like, what, like a 9-year-old game, something like that? And, so it's not super exciting seeing the same mission over and over and over again. But for those who haven't played it yet, that is pretty cool. So yeah, outside of all the terrible experiences, there really wasn't much of anything else going on that was worth it. And as I mentioned, I didn't get to do the Covenant Escape experience. I didn't get to do the Pelican training or the VR. And first off, the Covenant Escape and the Pelican training experience, that takes place inside of a big shipping container. They're both in these big shipping containers. So from the outside looking in, that's all you can see is a giant shipping container. That's it. And that was one of my main criticisms with this event, is that everything was fucking hidden from you. The Pelican training and the Covenant Escape inside of a shipping container, so you can't see anything. The ring experience behind black curtains, so you can't see anything. The combat deck, the laser tag, behind black curtains, can't see anything. At least let me watch the shit while I'm waiting in my fucking 2-hour line, please. But it's no secret as to why they hide everything, because they know that if people could actually see all these different attractions, that they wouldn't sit in the 2-hour line to go through it themselves. And that is just not right. People should want to experience the attraction for themselves. It should be worth it. But if people could see others doing this Pelican training and pressing a couple buttons and sitting in their chair, pulling a lever or whatever, or they could watch people do the Covenant Escape, or they could have seen how shitty the laser tag experience was, they wouldn't have sat in them lines to do it. And I want to point out that if you look at this part of the Halo Outpost trailer where they're showing the laser tag, you could see that people are watching from the sidelines. They're watching. They can see people play as it goes on. But at the actual event, that wasn't the case. I wish it was like that. I wish you could watch while you're standing in line, but they had it behind black fucking curtains so you couldn't see, because they didn't want you to see, because they know you wouldn't have waited in the line if you could see. Like, if you go to an amusement park and watch people get on a ride, that doesn't make you not want to get on that ride now just because you watched other people ride it. No, you still want to ride it for yourself. If you go to an arcade and you see somebody play a game, that doesn't make you not want to play that game now that you've seen them play it. Now you still want to play it yourself. But here at Halo Outpost, I have a feeling that if people were able to have seen what some of these experiences are, if they weren't hidden, I do feel like people wouldn't have wanted to do them themselves. Because for one, they really weren't all that great, and two, I don't think people would have been willing to wait in them lines if they knew what they were waiting for. And as for the ring experience, where they had the part of the Halo ring, they had the Sentinel, and then they had the monitor, the index, and the flood spore inside their glass cases, why couldn't that just be out on the floor with everything else? With the Warhog replica, and the Master Chief, and the Elite, and then with the assault rifle, and the Magnum, and the jetpack, and the Halo Reach helmet replicas. Why couldn't everything inside the fucking ring experience be out with all that in the Hall of History or whatever? Why'd I have to wait in a 2-hour line? Well, that one was a little over an hour. Still a long time. Why'd I have to wait in an hour line to see all that shit? The Chief, Master Chief, and the Elite and the Warhog replicas, that was cooler than all the shit that I seen inside the ring experience. But I had to wait in an hour line to see what was inside the ring experience. I don't get it. It was just... It was so bad, man. How can anyone enjoy that? People should be ripping this thing apart, left and right. Halo Outpost Discovery is fucking trash. And not worth it. And when it comes to the Pelican training and the Covenant Escape attractions being held inside of shipping containers... couldn't we have at least gotten something that resembled a Pelican or a Covenant ship? I mean, the whole shipping container thing just seems so fucking lazy to me. And in the Halo Outpost Discovery trailer, it says something about the Covenant Escape experience taking place inside of a Covenant ship. Now, yeah, I didn't really expect it to be in a Covenant ship, but I mean, couldn't you have given us something? Like something that, not just a goddamn shipping container? Like, come on. I mean, like that's super misleading. I mean, that's not a straight up lie, but that's like really fucking misleading. And they knew what they were doing. But to be fair, they did kind of show the layouts of all these different experiences within the Halo Outpost Discovery trailer. But if you look at them, they all have this weird grid-like look to them, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what to call it. That's obviously not just raw footage of the layouts of these attractions. So I guess you could say they showed us what everything looked like in the trailer, but they did it in a real sneaky, clever, indirect way. So several hours into this event, I was really trying to stay strong and force myself to just make it to the end of the day. But I fucking couldn't. I don't know how people are doing 3 days. I don't know how some people are going to all the different locations for this thing. And all 3 days at each one, I don't know how the fuck you're doing that. But I couldn't even get through a day of this shit. So I decided, all right, I got to get out of here. I'm leaving early. But I did want to do one more of the experiences before I left. I said, might as well, right? So I go up to the Covenant Escape. And this is at like 4:45, right? And the event ends at like 7 or 8. I'm not sure. It says it ends at 7, but then the last event ends at 8. So I'm not really sure. It ends at 7 or 8, right? But I go up to the Covenant Escape at like 4:45, right? And the staff member there tells me they capped out the line. It's at a 2.5 hour wait. That's going to take us to the end of the day. Well, first off, they had markers throughout the line that kind of told you how long from this spot the line was going to be. Like they had a 90-minute marker, a 60-minute marker, a 30-minute from this spot marker. And this was the shortest I had seen the line. The line was much shorter than where the 90-minute marker was, right? And they're telling me that it's going to be a 2.5 hour wait, which doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. I understand that them markers aren't super accurate. They're just an estimate. But how could you be that fucking far off? Like this was, like I seen where the 90-minute marker was in the line. And the line is much shorter than that. And they're telling me it's going to be 2.5 hours. So 150 minutes, not 90. How could you be that fucking far off? Like, were there technical difficulties? Did something go wrong? And then I went over to the Pelican training, and they told me that line, they capped it out too. That's a 3 hour wait. First off, the waits that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. The longest I've ever waited in a line at like an amusement park was an hour and a half. And that was like the most unbearable, terrible thing ever, right? An hour and a half wait. And I'm here having to wait 2 hours, 3 hours. What? But they capped out the lines. They told me I couldn't do it. It's 4:45. The event ends at 7 or 8. It's 4:45 and I'm done. I can't do them. What? How is that fucking acceptable? There were so many things wrong with this event. There really was. And this video that I made, people would probably consider this just bitching. No, this is constructive criticism. This is how anybody should react after having experienced that. All right? This is my constructive criticism, all right? This isn't just straight bashing the event just to bash it. It deserves it. It deserves it, all right? And I hope it's better in the future, of course. I like I said, I love Halo, and like I want the event to be good. I don't want it to be bad, but it was bad, and this is just my natural reaction. This is how this reaction is justified for how shitty that fucking event was. And like I said, I only went one day. I only drove an hour and a half. I can only imagine people that flew in for this shit and got VIP 3-day fucking passes. God damn. If you're thinking about going, don't go. Even if you bought the ticket, fuck it. You don't want to spend money on travel costs and hotels and things like that. Just cut your losses. don't go to the event. It's terrible. Like I said, it could be fun for kids or people that don't know anything about Halo and this is their introduction into the Halo universe. Then I guess it could be kind of interesting. But other than that, no. Maybe you already took off work to go to this event. Just go to an amusement park instead, or an arcade, a Chuck E. Cheese, anything. Anything would be a better experience than that. The Halo VR, which they call the Training Grounds, that would have been kind of cool to experience. I've never tried VR, and playing my favorite game in VR, that would have been cool. Even though I don't expect the VR experience, the Halo VR experience, to be anything like playing Halo. If I were to play Halo right now, if I were to hop on MCC and start playing Halo, no, I'm sure the VR Halo experience is kind of buggy and weird and shit. And I'm okay with that. I have low expectations. I expect that, whatever. But I didn't even get to experience it. I didn't even get to fucking do it because of the line, how fucking long the line was. People were just sitting down in the line, looking miserable. People were hopping out of line. I had to pick and choose what to do. It may take 3 days. It may take 2 or 3 days to get through everything in this event, but it shouldn't. It shouldn't take 2 or 3 days. The lines shouldn't be that fucking long. There shouldn't be technical difficulties. I had very low expectations for this event. Very low. And those low expectations were not met. Not even close. Not even close. And I'm not just saying that just to be dramatic and make things sound worse than they are. They were just that bad. It's very rare that I regret doing something. Like, I might go to an event and I might hate it, but at least it was a cool experience. Not this. This is just straight regret. I wish I didn't do this. I shouldn't have done this. It was terrible. I wish I could do it over again and not do it at all. Now, my friend, he kind of had some higher expectations. He thought there was going to be, he thought it was going to be like an outside event. He thought there was going to be like Warhog rides and shit like that. Little did he know, you couldn't, there's a Warhog, but there are no Warhog rides. You can't even get in the Warhog to take a picture with it. I mean, you could take a picture like in front of it, but it'd be nice to be able to get on the turret or in the seats or whatever. You can't even fucking touch the goddamn thing. Like, at least let me fucking touch it. No, can't touch it. Can't. Fucking whole event was shit. God. The only way I can actually see this event being worth it is if somebody gave you their ticket and you live right down the street from where the event is being held. I mean, that's about it. And I know there's going to be a lot of people who think I'm being way too hard on this event, but I really don't think I am. I think there's a lot of people who are being way too forgiving of this event. I mean, a one-day general admission ticket is like $60, I think $70 with fees. I think if you get like a 3-day VIP ticket, then that's up in like the $300 range. So you're paying for a ticket. People are flying into this event, driving several hours, taking time off of work. With all them things considered, no, this event is not worth it. So that's pretty much it for my review on Halo Outpost Discovery. It was a shit show. It ain't worth it. And I think I've said everything I had to say. So, I hope you enjoyed. Don't go to this event. And stay tuned for videos in the future. Peace out, everybody.